Welcome back to another video. We're here at the Lily Robotic Farm. Here's what's coming up today.
He costs €20 a day on electricity. He works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The benefit is you can get more weight on your animals. They're calmer. Feeding, the door is open and he's just driving, so he drives at the speed of the amount of food he wants to put out.
This is a massive shed here now, look at it. Look at all around it. It's as big as you'll see anywhere in the country.
What have you done, boys?
To hell with YouTube. I bring that friend sourcing. We're here in Bantier now at a very modern farm. Manager here is with me, Anna Sweeney. I think you're a Kerry woman.
I'm a Kerry woman, a Beaufort woman originally, yes.
This is one of the most modern farms in Ireland. How long have we been here?
So the farm is shoving up on 12 years old. Well, 12 years since they started. I've been here from the start, but I'm only farm manager for the last 10 and a half years.
This is a massive big farm. There's a massive amount of animals here.
Yes, so we're a finishing unit. So this time of the year, everything in the shed is for the factory. So over 12 months, we put through about 1,500 animals. So from next week on, actually there's a few here, we'll be collecting for grass. So we've 200 acres grazing platform here. So we put about 750 through grass from March to October.
What factory did you go to usually?
Everything here goes to Rackeel.
Rackeel, right.
Even nearly as many animals here as there is in Kerry altogether.
Well, actually in Cork, they have more beef animals and more dairy animals than any other county.
Yeah, we'd be more sheep. And in front of us here now, we have this automatic feeder. Can you tell us something about that? We've never seen it before.
So this is a Lely Vector. His name is Mr. Vector. So he does three things. So he's always measuring to see what's on the ground. He pushes in and he feeds.
So we are used to the pike down in Kerry. There's no pike here.
There is a few pikes around the place, but for this amount of animals, and I'm the only staff member.
You get nowhere.
You're the only person working here, sir?
Yes, this is a 400-acre farm.
You're fairly busy, sir.
Yes, people go, you've a robot, you've nothing to do. But because I have a robot, I can do the other things.
Right.
So there, it's just pushing in and measuring. On the other side, when it stops, I'll show you there's a laser light that measures what's on the ground. And I can set it to whatever height I want, depending weather-wise. If it's hot, I'll drop it down lower. If we're busy, I can send out more.
Does that have to be manually managed, or does it do it itself, or how does it operate?
It's 100% automated, so he works off time. So let's say now he's going to fill for 2 pins. As he's outside feeding those, he's measuring the rest.
Okay, yeah.
And the next time he might have to fill for 2 more pins.
So if you're gone for the day now, there'll be no need to worry. You know that animals will be well fed,
If something
pushed in and everything.
If something does happen, he'll ring me, but not, he works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
What you say his name was again?
Mr. Vector.
Mr. Vector.
He used to be called Maria, but I've decided there's no way it's a woman, it's definitely a man. So he got a name change.
These are massive animals. Where do you come by them? Where do you get them from?
Well, there is half of this pin will be next to go to the factory. So we source them, we do private, and we do mainly 4 marts. So we do Kanturk Mart would be our main one because it's just down the road. We do Macroom because it's not far away from us. We do Kilmallock and Listowel as well.
So you're supporting every county?
Yes, I have an agent on the road and there are the marts he goes to. So John, I explained that he has his own routes at his own time. So at the moment now he's going to scan this straw bed.
Stand here now.
So if you move closer, you'll be able to see the red laser light that's going to be on the feed on the inside, pointing at the ground. That's actually the laser light that's measuring.
Oh, yes.
So I have it set, once it goes below 40 mils, it knows it needs to feed again. Okay. So it won't need to feed this pin.
So they're good for the moment now?
Yes, but I have him going out every 2 hours to measure this pin because there's only a few animals in here.
And automatic and vectors pushing in the food again?
From day one, we kind of have all our times and our routes set up. Right. So my input, I have very little input into what he does. Okay. The only thing I'd have is turn routes on and off and turn pins on and off.
Okay, yeah.
So people go, a robot, all computerized, I'd never be able to work it.
Yeah.
You're actually working your phone is harder than working that. So this pin is just animals that might have been slightly sicker, just not coping in the big
Isolation
pens.
pen, really, I suppose.
Well, I have an isolation shed if they're very sick. If not, they can just stay here on the straw bed. So just because you're here and you're under time pressure, I'm actually going to override it and tell it to fill 2 pins just so we can get a video of it filling.
Perfect.
But this never happens.
It does itself automatic.
Yes.
Right.
But just especially for you, I'm going to override it. So this is called Route 14.
Okay.
And we're going to fill, let's say, pins 2 and 3. This is what we call the kitchen area. So this is where all the food is stored.
Yeah.
So in feeding 250 animals, it takes me about 15 minutes labor a day. That's the only input I have into feeding them. So at the moment he is grabbing silage, next to that is whole crop, and next to that is maize, and this is another row of silage.
So it's all mixed inside.
Yes.
So it's like a mini diet feeder.
It's a mini diet feeder, yeah. A
And
robotic mini diet feeder is what it actually is. You'll
Yeah.
see there now the way he picked up and dropped.
Yeah.
Like, this is the same machine since I started, but his brains, they keep updating. So
Yeah.
he picked up too much there, so he dropped it and he's going for a less amount.
Okay, yeah.
He's 98% accurate every time he goes out.
Okay.
There is nobody filling a diet feeder that's ever going to be 98% accurate. We just don't have patience, whereas robots do have patience.
But yeah, exactly, yeah.
So on our loader, we have a block cutter. It kind of comes part with the vector. I'll show it to you over there shortly. So it cuts the block to the size of the grab. So when the grab opens, it's the size of the block, and it just makes filling the robot that much quicker.
Yeah. So that's just dumping that in there now, mixing it up as well.
Yeah. And then halfway through, the ration will automatically go in.
Yeah, so the auger pipes will live in the ration there and he'll mix everything up, so.
Yeah, so the 2 ration bins are outside, and just underneath you down there, there's 3 mineral bins.
Perfect. So what's this here now?
That's whole crop wheat.
Right. And this one here, you said?
Maize.
Maize. And this?
That's maize.
Maize again.
And that's silage.
Silage.
So I'm able to grow everything. So I grow our own whole crop and our own silage. Maize we have to buy because this side of the country is too cold to grow maize.
And explain all the different areas there now behind you. That's where all this is stored, is it?
So these are all my pits. Yeah. So on this one we have whole crop with silage on top.
Yeah.
This is first cut silage. I'm not actually using it. It needs to be closed up for another couple of weeks. And that's maize. And then I have another empty pit ready for my first cut silage.
Serious storage. Just going, pick you up feed now, but previous to this, you brought everything in with the tractor and the grab or whatever in here,
so
is
it takes 15 minutes a day
Right.
to fill the kitchen enough to feed 250 animals. So on the weekend, on a Friday evening,
250?
yeah.
Whoa.
So at the weekend, I'd probably fill Saturday morning
Yeah.
enough to do me till Monday morning, so I don't have to go near it.
You'd be a long time doing that if this wasn't here, like.
Yeah. But even a diet feeder, like coming down the yard on a Sunday evening is very hard if you have to go.
But you were saying there a while ago, it's 98% accurate, is it?
Every time it goes out.
And like, there's no hope you can be accurate like when you're doing that.
No, because if you have an extra 20 kgs in the bucket, you're going to throw it into the diet feeder, or if you're...
It's pure, if you are accurate, you're being very lucky, like.
Yeah. And like, it's the fact that like he's going out, he's probably passing the animals every 40 minutes.
Yeah, checking, see if they have enough, push it in, and when they don't have enough, he'll come back here, then top it up and back out.
And back out again. But even if he's not feeding them, he still is encouraging them to come out to the face and out to the fence.
And it's lovely and chopped and everything, so they're not putting none of it into the slats or anything.
And as you can hear, you're here now a while and there's no noise.
There's one bit of noise, so they're very content.
Yes. So as long as...
And it's a well-ventilated shed. You have plenty of air coming in here as well.
Yes, but that can be a good thing and a bad thing. As you can see, I have roller doors on all sides, so I have full control of controlling the wind going through the shed.
Yeah. Right. So this is your silage pit. So what's this one here now?
So this is maize.
Maize.
Yeah.
Would you be able to pick up a load there and drop it across for everyone watching there now?
I'll show you the block cutter in action and just how simple it is to just drop it in.
Perfect.
Just going to attach on the block cutter now, and I'll put food in the kitchen. So I'm attaching the hoses. So there's two different auxiliaries, two different hoses, because you have two movements. You have the knives, and then you have auxiliary 2 that pushes off your block.
Yeah. Super job. So there's not too much machinery work here, and you obviously does it all yourself then, whatever bits needs to be done, obviously, besides the slurry spreading and
Yes, so it's topping and fertilizer and just filling the kitchen or
filling the kitchen
so it's
inside there.
yeah, so it's more hands-on than a machinery farm.
It takes them out in lovely squares too, doesn't it?
And it does, and it just keeps the face of the pit nice.
Perfect. I'll just jump off there. So it's like a saw motion.
There's 3 saws, yeah.
It's like a knife going through butter with ease.
Yeah.
Jeez, that is some job, lads. Everything about this farm is just immaculate and run well. Fairly impressive. You can see that there, like something else.
Okay, as you can see, I'm going to drop this on the yellow line. You'll see that it's all painted. That's for my benefit. So I will drop the block cutter right on the line. And then lift up the blade. And when I push off, it'll be center of the square for the robot.
And shoved out then. That is something else, lads. And then the vector will come, or the lily vector will come over then and pick that up, fill the feeder and into the cows. So that's all the machinery work she does for the feeding side of things. So a lot of labour saved, and she can be at other stuff. So going for another one. Massive concrete walls here, as you can see. Big sheds. So they have 1, 2, they have 5 of these sections inside here. So yeah, 5 of them sections inside there. Everything with their own individual thing. So you've 2 loads put in there. How many loads will do them for the day?
So I have 2 blocks put in.
Yeah.
So to do enough till this time tomorrow, I'd put 1 more whole crop and 1 grass silage. So
how long will it take? 10 minutes? Not even.
I actually say 15, but
yeah. You 2 put out there in a couple minutes.
Yes. So it just depends on if I have to pull tires off or whatever.
So 15 minutes
max.
And that's all your machinery work for the day?
That's the kitchen, that's the animals fed for 24 hours.
Shitty
so
Mac.
If you spend half an hour, you've the kitchen filled for the weekend.
So as you said, there are people should have nothing to do so.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
A thing like that, no, is not very cheap. How would you justify it?
How I justify that now is the way I sell. If I leave this job, I'm going selling robots because I'm just so passionate about what he does. So this whole system is worth about 190,000. I think it was 150 when we put it in. So like if we had a tractor and diet feeder, we'd have 2 wages coming out of the place, because between diet feeding and pushing in, you would have to have 2 here. So
and breakdowns of tractors and everything, and diet feeders and everything.
Well, it's more the stress in him. Yeah. Like you've been here now, there's no noise because there's no stress, there's no feeding time. If we were here now waiting till 9 o'clock to start, there was road works, some place 20 minutes late. Yeah. They're under stress and they're pushing and shoving, and that's when injuries happen. So this kind of mirrors what they can do outside in grass. So they can sit down when they want, they can eat when they want, as long as they have clean water. They're so content, and a happy animal is a fact.
Way forward, so you reckon?
Sure it is. people like you just can't get labour, you can't get staff.
No, you can't.
And life has gone so expensive in general, you need to pay staff. Like no fella is going to come in and work for peanuts, and no fella is going to come in and probably only do a few hours morning and evening because everybody needs to make a wage. So like he pays for himself. Like I'm trying to work out how much he costs. I'm putting him down on average about 20 euros a day on electricity.
20 euro net.
Yeah.
He's an honest old worker.
He's an honest one, and he works 24 hours a day. He gets 4 weeks off a year.
Good, good.
Where I
He don't want much holidays or nothing. No,
no,
No
that's
complaining.
no, he don't want
no.
drink porter for tea or anything.
no. He's never late on a Monday morning. Never.
No wage rise.
No, never looking for more wages. No money to go out on a long weekend. Just while he's filling, we'll give a walk around the rest of the sheds, and I'll explain what they are.
There's a few tractors up here. What?
They're a bit dusty now because there's been no field work for the last couple of months, but they need to come out now because it's nearly fertiliser season.
Yeah. And you do all the fertiliser and all that yourself, so?
I do all the work here at home, all the tractor work, but I get contractors to do the slurry and silage and cut the crops.
And with slurry, do you use umbilical?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we should be at that now next week.
A great job.
Yes, underneath the shed here, there is 1.3 million gallons of storage. So we're never stuck for room, which is great. Takes the pressure off.
Oh, you have a lot of machinery here inside. So would the John Deere be your favourite tractor, or the New Holland?
Well, I'm not a tractor person. Animals are my passion, but
Right.
because part of the job I have to do the tractor work.
Yeah.
But yes, the John Deere would be my favourite. It's like a big armchair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've nothing against the New Holland either. It's just
The
like,
John Deere, would it be heavy enough in diesel now, compared to New Holland's, obviously?
it would be just the size of it.
It's a good bit bigger, yeah.
They're very dusty, because they've been parked up.
You're grand out there, fairly clean. Fertiliser spreader here, so?
Yes, all GPS and section control. So me, when I'm distracted, can't overlap my fertiliser. It does it all for me.
Automatic.
Yes, yeah. So
Jeez,
you
that's
can put a
some
child
job.
up in it, it'll turn itself on and off.
Dennis Murphy is local man, is it?
Yes, just
Down
down
here.
the road. Yes, Dennis Murphy's my lifesaver.
Very good. It's handy to have someone so close as well.
Yeah, and the fact that I can just drive down to him,
Yeah.
no matter what's wrong with the machine.
Oh, super job. You're out fencing as well, I say?
Yes, well, I'm fencing. I have 100 acres up the road that I was cutting silage off of, but I'm going to start grazing at the end of the year.
Perfect. So you have butterfly toppers here out the back.
Yes,
So
we have that since 2018.
Would you be topping much on the land?
Yes, we try not to do a lot of spraying, so we keep control of the weeds just by topping them.
Right, perfect. Another shed here on, what's inside here?
So this shed is the only original part of the farm.
Okay.
Jerry McSweeney, Teresa's dad,
Yeah.
would have built this back in the 80s, and a lot of colleges would have come because it would have been the first ones with
Okay, yeah,
tanks.
modern back then.
It would have been so we just re-roofed it.
Right.
So this is the coming and going shed. So there's a load gone to the factory this morning out of there.
Okay, yeah,
And
this
these
side is
are
empty,
all
yeah.
only in.
So were these the last ones that were bought?
Yes. So this is empty now for Saturday's mart.
And if the mats down throughout the whole sheds and slats,
Yes. Yeah.
you find them a good job.
Just comfort. If you were sitting on
Comfort,
a
yeah.
concrete wall, wouldn't you like to have something
Exactly, yeah,
underneath
yeah.
your backside?
So the animals here, Jesus, they have a great time of it. They're well looked after.
They do. They have music all the time.
Yeah, we turned off the radio. It was blaring while ago. It was keeping you company and keeping them company.
Yeah.
So you have the pink sauce as well.
Yeah. My nutritionist swears by it, and you'd be amazed how quick they'll go through it.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah.
A lot of farmers are going down that route now. People.
And they say it's one of the only minerals they can regulate themselves. They'll only go for it when they need
yeah.
it.
Yeah, because the last farm I was at there, Mark Reardon, he only introduced salts there lately as well, because they kept throwing up the cod, and since they started at the salts, he reckoned that it's nearly gone now. So
yeah.
must be some benefit in it,
Yes.
right? That's this shade. That's pretty
And
much
so
the
we'll
same.
go this way. So out
Right.
here then is the isolation unit.
Right.
So as you can see, if you look at the ground,
We've a man there that we could put in there. We could put him in there.
a nice
exactly.
straw bed, the robot. So as you will see, the robot runs off sensors. I'll show you
Right.
that. When he leaves, he runs off the walls and things. So when he has no walls, he runs on metal strips.
Oh, diesel on the ground here.
So he followed those out. So he comes out here as well,
Yeah.
and I can send him out to this shed as well.
Isolation unit now.
Yes.
It's a very fancy isolation unit.
At the moment, it's empty, thank God.
Yeah.
So the robot can feed this pin directly
Yeah.
But we have it set up that it can't feed these ones
Okay.
in case there's something with a bad disease that it can't lick the
And
robot.
like you say, it wouldn't be in there much, so you'd nearly point that in
But
yourself.
it just feeds here, so I just have to shove it in.
Oh,
They
perfect.
just can't make contact with
Yeah.
it.
Jeez, this is another super shed. This is bigger than most people's sheds. This is just
it's
an
not a
isolation
good
unit.
sign when I have this full.
And you have a little crush here as well.
So yes, it has its own tank and its own crush out here.
Okay.
Just for the spread of diseases.
There's another big crush inside. We'll show you that in a minute.
That's my handling area. That's where the magic happens. That's where I spend most of my day.
Perfect, perfect. When they're all going to the factory, when you're reading tag numbers or testing or anything like that, is it?
Or dosing and clipping, everything that comes in. Their
Wait.
tails are clipped and their backs are clipped.
Oh, so
and they're
if you buy a
vaccinated.
load in, tails, what doses would you give them usually?
So we just do IBR, blackleg, and a pour-on.
They all get that treatment coming in regardless.
Everything, yeah.
Perfect. Geez, it's all concrete. There's no gravel or dirt here. It is well minded by you, in fairness.
Well, yeah, it's when it's concrete, it's easy, clean than having mud being dragged around.
We'll go over to this side of the shed now. But you can see there in the camera, this shed is absolutely massive. Don't think I've ever been in a shed this big.
Mr. Vector's actually mixing now at the moment, so
Right.
he's going to feed the fur oversight. So
we might give one quick walk up here, sure,
okay.
while you're here. So you've all mats down. Where'd you get these mats? Were they in from day one?
Yes, they're easy fix mats.
Right, easy fix, yeah. And you have a pressure hose there to wash everything down in, is it?
Yes, my volume washer is my favourite piece of equipment in the yard. So you'll see there's gates everywhere, so I can draft animals in and out of every pin
Okay, yes.
safely.
What's this here then?
A man gate, my escape
Oh yeah,
gate.
so you can go out.
Yeah.
Guess there was an animal mad. Gone.
Yes, and coming out of every pin, there is a man gate.
Oh, lovely.
That
Super
slides
job.
open. Do everything like safety, and like if you look in the pins, all the gates are the height that if anything happens, you can roll out. That there's enough room
Oh,
for-
exactly, yeah. Are these the water trucks
over.
you can tip?
Yeah.
I've actually never seen them in action. Can you?
So twice a day when I'm herding the shed,
Right.
I wash the water trucks out.
Okay.
It's the cheapest form of nutrition that you'll get is clean water. So I just have a little hand brush and they just tip over.
So if any cow shites into it, absolutely spotless again.
Yeah.
Great job. Would they be popular now amongst a lot of farmers, or? I haven't seen them in many sheds now, I'd say. My first time seeing it
I'd say
working.
any shed that's been built in the last 10 years would have the tip over trucks.
Yeah, otherwise people have to come in with the hand and scoop out any shite that's inside there, is it?
Yeah.
Geez, that's a great job.
This is a massive shed here now, looking at all around it. It's as big as you'll see anywhere in the country. Maybe bigger than anywhere in the country. Talk to us about the crush here now. It's a very modern looking thing.
So because I'm here by my own safety is number one thing. So like most crushes now, they're circular at the top and you have the gate that follows on and it closes. So the animal can't reverse back on me. And like there's a man gate then to come through here so that I don't have to go in there. Yeah. So it's all safety. When you work by yourself, you have to put safety first because they're no small animal if they start reversing on you.
Every animal that comes in here that you buy in here, if you want to do anything, you treat them all in the crush here.
Yes, so everything that comes in, they spend 2 or 3 days in the shed out there, yes. And then they're brought in here and I clip their tails, clip their backs and vaccinate them. And all their weights are recorded on herd watch as they come through with the wand. I just read their tags and the herd watch will connect with the scales and the wand and it's all saved. So you'll see here now he's feeding, the door is open and he's just driving, so he drives at the speed of the amount of food he wants to put out. Yeah. So when he's finished feeding this pin, he'll measure all the rest of the pins as he goes back to see does anything else need to be fed. As you'll see, he's feeding here now, the door is open, so when he comes to the end of this pin, the door will close and he'll continue on his route. But as he's continuing, he'll push in and he'll measure.
He'll measure, and if it's short, he'll come back again after the load is full and feed them again.
If nothing needs to be fed, he'll check one of the other routes. And if nothing, usually the middle of the day, everybody goes to sleep.
Yeah.
He'll sit there, I think, for 50 minutes and then he'll come out and check to see if there's anything.
And all hours of the night, he's going as well.
24 hours a day.
And would you have lights on, or is there lights on this house?
If you see at the top, I've just 2 small LED lights.
But does
Oh, he doesn't need like.
He doesn't need no lights.
He's running on a sensor here off the top of the pin.
Okay, yeah.
And when he's going out to the other sheds, you'll see there's metal strips that he follows. So it goes, it runs on a sensor underneath.
Jeez, that's unbelievable. Is there many farms in Ireland with this Lily Vector?
So we have 3 of them in Cork. There's one going in Kerry. Carrigan-Shore, there's one.
They're getting fairly popular though throughout Ireland, I suppose, are they?
Sure, like every farm, labour is the problem.
Yeah.
You just can't get
Yeah.
labour. So people are looking in. And for the next generation, like our generation will still work.
Yeah.
But I just see my niece and nephew. They
well,
have interest, but they know the value of work-life balance.
Exactly,
More
yeah.
than we do.
They don't want to be stuck here every weekend or every evening after work if they're part-time, especially as well though.
Yes. Well, especially when you're young, you need a social life.
Yeah.
Like if you look back through farming, there was a lot of people gave up their life when they got a farm and ended up in their 60s on their own because they just work so hard.
Yeah.
I don't think the next generation will be willing to do that. They'll be looking for ways of still farming because it's a beautiful lifestyle.
It is a great lifestyle, but like you say, it's all about work-life balance to at the end of the day. Like.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So doors closing up there now.
Yep. And he'll continue on driving and he'll measure.
He'll start measuring away with the laser again.
Yeah.
And pushing it at the same time. It's mad, like you don't have to go along with no pike, no pushing in. That's massive reduction in workload.
But it's what they're putting on. So these are all heifers on this side. Over the 12 months in the year on average, we're putting on about 1.5 daily light weight gain. And on the bullocks on the other side, we're putting on 1.7. And there's no other reason.
That's exceptional.
Yes, there's no other reason because our diet is
the same
as most finishers.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they're being fed small amounts all day long. It's being pushed up.
It's not horsed out in front of them and then they ate it and then they're out maybe 7 or 8 hours maybe with nothing and it's just constant.
Or there's not a heap of it there for the whole day.
Yeah, okay.
Like there's never waste here in front of the pit or in front of the strips.
But it's chopped up so finely, like it's unbelievable. Like you'd go to other diet feeders there and it's not as fine as that. That's
because humans drive that and we're always in a hurry.
Yeah.
And we should let it die mix for 20 minutes, but we don't.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
A robot is never in a hurry. What you type into the computer, he'll do.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you say, the 24 hours that's unbelievable. Like it's a big eye opener now to us. Like when we haven't seen something like this, but fairly impressive.
Yeah, and to think that's the same machine that's there for 11 years. The end of last summer, Lely had a big open day here to promote the robots do actually last.
Yeah.
Because most people think like a phone after 2 years I'll be replacing it. Like that's still in good condition for something that's going on 11 years old.
With regards, obviously, everything breaks down, I suppose. Would you get much trouble with it?
Like something went, like a bearing on a wheel hub went last year. And a week afterwards, another bearing on the other hub went. As long as we keep the tyres serviced, like you'll always have a sensor that goes or something, but there's never anything.
Nothing big, like.
Yeah. There's basic, same as cars, wheel problems.
Same as tractors, everything.
We shut down for 1 month of the year. Everything's on grass.
What time of the year is that?
June. The shed is empty for June, so we power wash, disinfect, and Lely come and they can strip it down and service it.
And is it? Other than that month, is it fairly full or would it be half full during most of the year?
It's the 2 weeks where I shut down as I'm killing it gets empty. But no, we're full.
It's like this nearly the rest of the year, like. Yeah. And you've some out of grass in as well, like so.
Yes, so we usually have 300 out of grass, between 250 and 300.
Okay.
So the ones that go out in March, when I start again in July, they're ready to come in.
Yeah.
So if I bring in 200, I buy 200.
And would you have a load going to the factory every few weeks or how?
Like this week, no, there's 3 loads gone.
3 loads.
So that means
roughly how many animals went?
There's 16 in each load.
Right.
That's what I sent.
And you'll be due in to go again another?
So yes, there's a few of these girls shoving up on 70 days here.
Right. Have you a scales?
Oh yes, inside in the crush there's
scales.
Yeah,
we never seen that, but so you have scales inside in the crush, and whatever you think is fit. Do you do off eye as well, like when you're looking?
If they are less than 70 days. So on average, the heifers stay about 50 days.
Okay.
So on around 50 days, we'd be keeping an eye going,
and you'll be drafting the weights if they're fit, you put them into separate pens.
If they're still not fit and they're here 70 days, there's nothing in this shed here over 70 days.
Okay.
70 days is cut-off point. If you're not doing it in 70 days, you're out the gap.
Okay.
Because you're not going to fatten a greyhound if you're
Yeah,
a
yeah.
greyhound.
You're not
after
going to make money, like,
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah.
And like some people will hold them going, oh, we'll let them for another 2 weeks. But they forget how much they're eating for
Yeah,
2 weeks and not
yeah.
putting on weight.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the silage on the feed there. It's chopped up lovely and fine. There'd be an awful lot of waste in other silage. Do there be much waste in this?
So on the strip here, there's never any waste because the robot won't feed till they have the old stuff gone. And even when he does feed, he'll feed in front and push in the older stuff.
Right.
So there's no wheelbarrow or taking stuff away. And when we were in the kitchen, if you keep your kitchen tidy, there's no waste in your kitchen. So the only waste I have here is what I take off the corners of pits that I can't roll.
So the silage must be good quality, the best of quality.
We try to make good quality silage. This year wasn't as great because we couldn't grow grass. This year was the worst year ever.
With reseeding, do you reseed the place much outside?
So where I cut my silage, we bought that farm 4 years ago. So it was all reseeded 4 years ago. These are my tyres that I use on top of the pits. They're just the walls of tyres.
Geez, they're heavy enough too.
They're heavy enough.
You think they were very light to look at them, but
Yes.
they keep down the wind.
But being here on my own, it's too dangerous to be pulling big tyres off the pit by yourself. So,
Yeah.
like, it just makes it much simpler.
They're cutting...
They're fine and flat, the wind won't
Yes.
catch them on nothing.
No, and like they are enough weight on top of the pit, but they're just easy to store and handle.
Where'd you buy these?
It's a company back in Clare. It's Munster Tire Waste or Munster Tire Recycling.
In Clark, Glenkerry.
Yes, down in Tullig.
She's done a great job. And what else have you there behind them?
They're the pit bags that just go along the corners. This is my office. This is where we come to get a bit of heat to warm up. So as you can see here, we got Grass Tech to measure and map out all our farms. Just
Right.
so with a contractor coming in there saying, oh, I spread
Yeah.
the sorry, you know exactly how many acres are in each field. 5 different plots of land.
Yeah.
So this would be the home one. That's silage ground. There's 2 of them green. There's another one with a bit of grass in it. We've planted a bit of forestry on one piece that was very high and dangerous.
Yeah.
Not forestry, native trees.
Yeah.
So in total, we have about 400 acres.
Most grassland. Is it?
Grass and tillage.
Yeah, tillage as well. And I see you have a lot of cameras here as well set up.
Yeah, you kind of need
Would
it
you
'cause,
get visitors here or anything much?
like people go, do you get lonely working on a farm? This is a very different farm.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, there was 4 different people in and out of the yard. So
Yeah,
a
yeah.
day when nobody calls is a great day here. You get stuff done.
Yeah, yeah, okay,
So
yeah.
just security, you need cameras with
Yeah.
just people in and out and trucks in and out and delivery guys.
It's a
and-
fairly well operate or good
Yes,
run
actually,
operation.
while we're here, I'll show you the brains behind this, like with the robot.
Yeah.
So like this is my feed kitchen if I ever need to.
Yeah.
This is the map of the kitchen out there.
Yeah.
So you have your row of grass, whole crop, maize, grass. There's no reason for them to be set up that way. So if I put a block in the wrong place, I just have to come in and name it. So
You can change that. Okay, yeah.
So you can see where the grab is on each block.
Yeah.
So in the morning, if I have stuff left over, I put it all into one heap and I can just tell the grab to, let's say, feed this one first. So you can always feed the older stuff first.
So you can override it from inside here, so change it.
So these are my fences. So jury left is turned off because that's called jury shed. There's no red tick. And they're all the different diets. And these are the mills I have the laser set to.
Yeah.
And then you can have times that you can have it turned off.
Jesus.
If you wanted it turned off in the middle of the night. Or
That's some job, lads.
lots of farmers that have it, if they had cows coming in and out past it, they could set it to be off for those.
Yeah.
And then you just have different routes. And then you can log on and I can check, let's say, pin 1 and see how much they ate yesterday. And you put in all your dry matter and costs and it'll tell you how much it cost to feed those animals yesterday.
Jeez, you have everything set up here, so everything can be traceability and
Frank that owns the farm is actually a Beaufort man as well, another dairy man. Frank is an accountant by trade.
Yeah.
So all Frank ever wants to see are these magic sheets that you can't get a close up on now because they'll show you how much you're making. But like every animal that goes through the yard, there's an Excel sheet on it. So there's 21 points of information on each animal as it leaves the yard.
Yeah.
Just to, like, there's tag numbers, how much they put on a day, how much they put on in total, how much they cost to feed, their grade, the factory price.
Every detail there, so pretty much.
Like when you're running something like this, it has to be run as a business. You have to show you're making money and
Yeah, exactly.
like trialing different things to see what works when you have figures.
There's nothing like that in Kerry. Tis as good as you'll see anywhere, I'd say, in the world. Will you come back to Kerry and do something like that?
Well, I only manage to remember I don't have the money to be building it, but will I come back to Kerry? Definitely. I only say I stay here, I don't live here. So I'm not claiming myself as a Cork woman, I'm still a Kerry woman.
With all the animals here, how many animals go through the shed in the year?
So we finish on average, depends on the year, about 1,500 animals a year.
Would you have a lot of deaths, I suppose, for that?
No, last year we got 4 with meningitis. Like spines and brains are very hard to fix. This year, just before Christmas, I lost one that got an infection, went in through her horn and went to her brain.
It's unusual, because most people, if they had only 20 animals, they'd lose 1 or 2.
Well, I suppose we're luckier because we have older animals. Like a lot of deaths come with younger animals because they're like babies, they're easier to get sick.
Yeah.
But oh no, where you've livestock, you've dead stock. So we had 2 years of losing no animal, and then I got a run of meningitis. But we put it down to, it had rained on my silage outside, and when we brought it in, they reckon there was soil came in with it.
Soil.
Yeah, that there was ash in it, and that's what gave him the meningitis. But my nutritionist came on board and we put a microtoxin in the ration, and we got on top of it. But it's not nice to see an animal with meningitis.
Do they take it? No. Do they take the meningitis from each other?
No,
No.
it's an infection that goes to the brain.
Yeah.
They usually, sheep are the same, it's mouldy silage, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
it's not suitable. Silage is not as suitable for sheep as it is for cows.
Yes. So behind us here, we'll just have a look at the scale. So every animal that comes into the shed is weighed before they leave. I try not to take them out of the pins during their stay here because it just upsets them. I was charging scales there. It's just the excitement of them getting out of the pin and running up and down. It takes them a couple of hours to settle again afterwards.
Yeah, so you weigh everything inside here, so through the system.
Yes. So I have my wand. So as they come through, it's connected to herd watch.
Okay, yeah.
And as it comes through, I read them, and the scales and the wand connects to herd watch, and it's all saved from it.
And you can open and close them there on a slider.
Yep.
And you have a headlock system up here as well.
Yeah. All easily managed. And then I have a head scoop as well, because during the winter I do PI3 up the nose. So just for safety, you can put them in the head scoop and it's no problem.
We're here now with a good bit. We've travelled all the sheds and they're very impressive. Finally, will you give us a recap of the whole thing and how the system, and that you're very satisfied with it?
Yeah, so just a rundown of having a robot. So a robot cuts one staff member out. He costs €20 a day on electricity. He works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The benefit is you can get more weight on your animals. They're calmer. You've been here now a couple of hours and there's no animal roaring.
There's no shouting, right?
Not even one.
Yeah. If there's a noise, you go looking, there's a gate open or there's something wrong. So your benefits are what you can get on your animals. Like 1.7 for those is amazing, considering we're not pumping them too much.
No, definitely not.
Like 1.5 in heifers, and being able to turn them so quickly is the name of the game to be making money. Yeah. So like they'll all stay between 50 to 70 days.
70 days is the max, really.
Or
So.
you're out the door after 70 days, whether you're thriving or not.
Yeah. Has this been a good year for you this year?
The grass wasn't as, like everywhere in the country, wasn't great.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have put what I wanted to put through grass. I'd say I put about 600 through grass, maybe 650. I'm usually about 750.
Right.
But no, since we've come in, silage isn't as good as we wanted. So it took a while to make the diet that actually worked. But we're actually flying now at the moment.
But the price of beef you got for your prices now this year have been much up from last year? Or?
Yes, but what people forget is
Definitely.
because the factory price is going through the roof, the market price is going through the roof.
Yes.
So usually over the year, it all works itself out.
Balances out.
But our problem now is buying for grass in March. What are we going to be getting at the end of the year?
Yeah,
That's
okay, yeah.
the tough bit for farmers that are keeping them long periods of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so when Frank was going building a shed, Lely approached him to come and look at this feeding system, because day one it was set up, designed on paper for a diet feeder. So Frank travelled a bit of Europe with Lely and fell in love with this. He went to look at more of them, but fell in love with this because there is not much that can be manually broken. There's no overhead rails or anything.
Yeah.
And Frank was actually the first in Europe to put a feeding robot in for beef.
Beef.
That's it for another video. Thanks very much for watching. See you again.
What have you done, boys?
To hell with YouTube. Why bring that friend so simple?